All right, shout out to the mighty Who That Nation, man. Big Q here representing the Sports Coma. Shout out to FanDuel. FanDuel, the official sponsor of the Coma. Please check out FanDuel for all your prop bets and everything at FanDuel for your liking. Shout out to the fam. Hit the like button, man. We talking Alontae Taylor today in this stream, man. Some other teams are showing interest in Saints defensive back Alontae Taylor. That's going to be an interesting point to kind of look at and call. According to NFLTR, you can see this was a report by Matthew Paris from NOLA.com. He said that the Raiders could be a suitor for Saints Alontae Taylor if he hits the market, which is the current expectation. Now, hitting the market, maybe some of this news breaking and some of this, the Saints could kind of feel this stuff out. There is some time that the Saints and Alontae could work out a deal before we get to free agency. It could happen. We'll be watching to see if it does. But the reality at the end of the day is that teams are interested. Matthew Paris talks about it. Shout out to him. That it's worth noting there's a familiarity in Las Vegas with Alontae Taylor since they retained defensive coordinator Joe Woods. That's right. Joe Woods, who coached Taylor in New Orleans from 2023 to 2024. Paris also mentioned that the Raiders will have an even bigger need for a corner if they do not re-sign Eric Stokes to a contract. So this is this. And of course, Alontae, who turned 27, was originally a wide receiver before converting to a cornerback during his time at Tennessee. He opted to set out the 21 Music City Bowl in preparation for the draft. The Saints used the number 49th overall pick in the second round on him back in 2022 NFL's draft. He just finished his 4-year, $7.2+ million rookie contract that included over $2.4 million in signing bonus money. Last year, he appeared in all 17 games for the Saints. He had 83 total tackles, 2 sacks, 2 picks, and 11 pass defense for Alontae Taylor. So Joe Woods is there. Of course, you know Clint Kubiak is the official coach there. He took over the job after leaving Seattle in the Super Bowl run. He's their new guy. Joe Woods is the coach, and this is serious. This could be something that we could pay attention to. This will be the Raiders looking to kind of revamp things and kind of add some more pieces to the puzzle to kind of expedite their rebuilding process, so to speak. But that's not the only team interested in Alontae Taylor. How about this report from Ross Jackson? Shout out to him. Cowboys expected to pursue Saints Alontae Taylor. Ross says the NFL League's tampering period opens on March the 9th, and players' markets are already starting to heat up. One player that's expected to receive a lot of interest this offseason is New Orleans Saints cornerback Alontae Taylor, and the assumption is already proven true. There are obvious connections that bring about common pairings with trio of teams. The Saints' former head coach Dennis Allen is currently the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Bears safety Jaquan Brisker, who plays a similar role as Taylor in the Bears defense, is set to become a free agent. If he departs, Taylor could be an option for Chicago. Former Saints defensive coordinator Joe Woods, currently on staff with the Raiders, who could use outside cornerback help, as do the Titans, who could bring Taylor back to his home state. While each represent a unique challenge to lure Taylor out of New Orleans, Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer reported that another team could be in the mix, the Dallas Cowboys. Corner looms as the biggest need, according to Breer, who wrote about the Cowboys, with Seattle's Tariq Woolen and the Saints' Alontae Taylor at the top of the market. This indicates not only Dallas' interest in the versatile cornerback, but also the fact that Taylor is at the top of his position in free agency market. That could make it tough for the Saints to remain competitive in its offseason considerations. Now, losing Alontae Taylor would be a blow for the Saints defense. He's disruptive and a multiple player that fits defensive coordinator Brandon Staley's star role perfectly. His exit would send the Saints on a hunt, both inside the facility and out, to find a player that can that can fill that role. Taylor should have a robust market this offseason, which would likely make it tough to keep him in the Crescent City. Last year, the 2022 second-round pick had 83 tackles, 7 for a loss, 2 tackles, 2 sacks rather, 2 picks, and 11 pass defense for Alontae Taylor. So shout out to Ross for this one, but this is very true about Alontae Taylor. We have to understand that, yes, there's a hell of a market for Alontae Taylor. Saints could be talking to him. I've heard rumors that they're saying he wants as much as what Paulson Adebo got. There's also rumblings that the Saints will give him a healthy offer, but there's also a sentiment that if that Alontae Taylor wants to bank out, that he wants to be highly paid. The Saints have a number in their head, and if they can't match it, then they're willing to let him walk, which is curious because remember, they tried to trade him prior to the trade deadline and was asking too much. With that, when they didn't trade him originally, I thought, okay, well, they must have a role for him in free agency. Now, we know that the Saints, according to, what's going on with the option that we talked about, where they have to be able to spend a certain kind of money, we do realize that $50 million mark. So all the Saints ready to open up the purse strings, is Gail willing to compensate Alontae Taylor this offseason? Will we match whatever he gets or simply allow him to walk in free agency? Do we then hit free agency and look for his replacement, or do we pick him up in the draft? This is some of the things that, one of the more curious questions that out of all of the other free agency things that we're dealing with as a team, I think one of the more curious things to me is, what do the Saints do with Alontae Taylor? We know about the tweet that seems positive, but then again, you never know with this crazy dynamic that's going on with Alontae Taylor. But one thing can be certain is that the market is definitely there for Alontae Taylor. Will he get that $18 million, whatever that he was looking for? Man, we'll just have to see. So what do you guys think? Y'all tell me in the chat how y'all feel about Alontae Taylor. Do you think he stays and goes? Do you prefer that he stays and goes? And put your GM hat on for a second and tell me what you are willing to give to make Alontae Taylor happy for the Saints. So you're willing to match the Paulson Adebo dope, the $18 million a season, something roughly like that? Y'all let me know in the chat how you would handle this if you were the Saints general manager, right? So anyway, with that being said, shout out to FanDuel. Appreciate them for being a sponsor of the show. Y'all check out and get y'all prop bets at FanDuel. Big ups to the Who Dat Nation. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. Like, share, hit the notification bell. We're on our way to 15,000 subs. Please help us out by hitting the sub button, checking your sub button, making sure you are sub to the Sports Coma. Shout out to our Patreon champions and our YouTube membership family. We got some more live content will be coming up for you guys for Tuesday, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. With that being said, I'm Big Q. I'm going to holler at you guys on the next one. Much love, peace, and who dat to you.
Hey, New Orleans. Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thehootetdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewoodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.